Hi everyone, welcome to today's podcast. Today we are talking about how women can be visible. Uh, Everybody will wonder why I selected this topic. Why are we talking about visibility? Uh, Women tend to try to be apologetic, minimize whatever they are achieving. They always say, "Oh, that's okay. People have done more than this." It's a form of apologizing, it's a form of becoming invisible. I became aware of this when I started my PhD program. When I was doing my doctoral program, I realized I had this deep down fantasy, I would call it, that people would somehow know that I did all these things and they would somehow recognize it that, oh, this is Rani's work. And they will somehow say, oh, this is the best way to look at her silent contribution. That is not ever going to happen. But I was not the one alone. I was not the only person I knew who had these kind of visibility issues. Let me give you an example. I'm going to give you three, four, five different ways in which women accept invisibility. I had a friend, Maya, Dr. Maya. She was in physics at the time. She was stellar in doing research. She was excellent, but she was very shy when it came to presenting her results. She would never own it. She would never say, "This is me." And then she got a job in a huge organization, which is, of course, filled with male colleagues. And then she submitted a huge grant application. And in that grant application, she was one of the primary people. And the grant got rejected because they said they're not familiar with this person. Because it involved a huge part of it involved outreach. And she had never done any outreach. She had allowed her male colleagues to take credit for the work they did. And she said, "Oh, it's all a part of the teamwork, it's a team effort. So why should one person be singled out?" But in the end, her refusal to stand up when it was necessary, to stand up for her work, to show her work, really made her lose a huge, prestigious grant. Then she sat back, thought about this, and then she started a YouTube channel in which she started explaining in a very clear, simple manner these complex physics issues. And because of that, she got a lot more viewers. People started asking her questions. People from all walks of life started engaging with her. And she felt good. Visibility brought her relief. Visibility made it clear for her that she would be accepted as a scientist. Visibility brought joy for her because that was her job, that was what she did in her life. Today she speaks in many forums, but I'm so happy that she actually helps more girls and women in the STEM area to overcome this bias. So when Dr. Maya went from invisible to visible, she opened the space for several other women to come forward, to step in, to bond, to explain what they do, to cultivate that. That is an important thing we have to understand when we say visibility. Visibility is not the kind immediately our mind races to, oh my God, it's that visibility like that of the movie star. No, it's not that kind of visibility. That is promotion. Visibility is you owning up your work and you're stating that I know this, I can help you with this, and I'm willing to help you with this. Let me give you another case study. When I was doing my PhD in education, we had people from all over the world who had come to study in our university. And one of them was from African country where there is frequent famine, drought. Uh, she had she was very good in navigating any complex issue you give it to her. She could break it down into actions. She was a grassroots organizer. You give her any complex problem, she could really bring it down to these are the things we can do at grassroots level to make this happen. This is how we will gather people. This is how we will do that. She knew how to talk to women. She knew how to gather them around her. And she was so good at doing that. But you know what she did? She always hid behind her male colleagues. She did not ever stand up and say, this is my work. She always created a committee, she created a team, and she would say things like, we are all a team, we are all working equally on this. Actually, no. Nobody knew it as well as she did, and we were all just following her instructions. So once it so happened that usually she would persuade some of the faculty members to speak on behalf of the club to the president and the executives of the university. Once it so happened that the dean who said I will speak was ill, and she received a call, and she had to go and present. She started off, nervously because I was there with her, watching her as she did it. She started off nervously, and we were in the crowd nodding. We were watching in the sidelines, nodding and saying, yes, yes, go, go, go. And then when she started speaking, her genius flowed. Her joy, everybody could see her enthusiasm. They could see how clearly she had thought about this and how the impact of this is going to really change the lives of so many people. Visibility brought her confidence. It made her understand that she too had a place in this world. That is visibility. Another visibility. You would have all heard of these. There are several of them who worked in banking sector, who worked in financial sector, who worked in this high powered investment bankers or anything. But the pressure to perform is so enormous. They eventually have a burnout. And also, because it's money, it's cutthroat, right? Nobody wants to say, oh, that's okay. Nobody says that. A deal is a deal. They want the deal. They'll go after the deal. So using all these experiences, the lady I know decided she is going to write a book on how she is managing the stress, how she's striking a balance. And I know that because she attended the meditation class same meditation class that I was taking. And in that, she discovered that there are different ways to define success. There are different ways in which you can define success. And the moment she learned that, she felt so inspired and she said, I am going to take this lesson seriously. I am going to be a success in my own terms, on my own terms, in my own field. And because she already had the discipline of working in this financial world, she knew how to handle deadlines. She knew how to do that. She said, I'm going to write a book and I'm going to teach this financial literacy to everybody around. She became successful. If you step out of your box and you claim this is my path and this is the impact I want to have, I want to have a more fulfilling life, you become more visible. I'll tell you the story of another. This is a crazy, wild story, and this was told to me by one of my friends in college. Um, Her name, let's say she's in the Asian region. She is she never had seen a telephone till she came to a city. Once she came to the city, she found it boring. She's not used to idling her time. She's from a rural place, so women are completely occupied all the time. So she said, I am going to go and learn something. But everywhere, the need was, do you know computers? Do you know how to use cell phones? Do you know how to do this? And she's like, what is this technology? I want to learn about this technology. She was 82 when she came, mind you. Then when she went home, her grandkids, they were playing on Xbox and all those things. So she asked her grandkid, can you teach me how to play this? They were very surprised and they said, yeah, sure. She doesn't even know how to use a cell phone, mind you. So then she started learning how to do this. And when her grandkids were at school, she had the time to practice. She became so good at it, she beat her grandkids. And then these grandkids then filmed their grandma playing and they put it in WhatsApp and other places. And she became like a celebrity. And she was teaching other grandmoms how to play these games, how to use technology. She learned how to use cell phone. She learned how to become visible in that process. She became her own, she pursued her own passion and she just enthusiastically enjoyed it. When you enjoy something, when you are following your passion, you do not feel tired. You do not feel the stress. You, in fact, are in what they call as the flow. When you enjoy something and you're constantly working on it, you do not feel tired. You do not feel that you don't have ideas. In fact, the opposite is a problem. You have too many ideas. This grandmother of 82 was able to step out and discover a whole new community, teach a lot of kids how to do this, and she also taught them in the process how to be balanced about this. Not just completely carried away, get completely carried away, go crazy and do this like 24/7, 365, not worry about food and sleep. And no, she taught them how to be balanced when they're doing this. In an era where everybody's got addiction to technology and cell phone, this grandmother was so useful. But it's not like she didn't face any objections. She did face trolls. People mocked her for her age. They said, "Oh, you are actually almost illiterate, and you are 82, and you need to wear glasses to read what you're typing on." But the visibility of all these women give us hope. We want to be visible not because we want to be celebrities, but because we matter. I'll repeat. We want to be visible not because we want to be celebrities, but because we matter. What we say, what we have to say, how we say, and who we say for, who we stand up for. Every one of this matters. Every one of this matters. If, for example, 10 women, one woman in an office says, one day in a week, I'm going to wear my traditional clothes. Maybe it's a Friday when it's relaxed. I'm going to wear traditional clothes. Soon others will also start wearing it. It will give you visibility for who you are, who you authentically are. In 2024, let's all reclaim and reframe what it means to be visible. Visibility should be seen as an opportunity for empowerment, to show what you stand for, to be what you want to be. It challenges our internal resistance, and it also makes you break the societal pressures which keep us from being seen doing what we do. Being seen doing what we do. Everybody has to be seen, but there is a particular way in which we will be seen. The society says that you should be seen in a certain way. But when we stand out, when we become visible, when we make the choice to be visible, we own our voice, we own our expertise, and visibility is not bragging. It is just sharing your gift, your joy, your light with everyone else around you. We have to consciously craft our visibility. What does that mean? It means we do not allow any of the old patterns, which is feeling sorry. Oh, I don't want to take ownership for what I did. No, you should stand up and take ownership for what you did, for how much you did. Even if it is a small project, you have to stand up and take, even if it was a small role, stand up and own it. When you do so, you open yourself up to vulnerability, but you are authentic and you celebrate your authenticity. You celebrate your self expression. You celebrate your contribution. Visibility, when you're starting, when you are, let's say you're starting your career, or this is the first time you're doing it. The first time when you're doing it, it's very scary, but it's also the doubt. Who wants to listen to me? Who will listen to me? I don't think this is valuable to anyone. So when you're starting, be prepared to build from scratch. Just know that there are so many women out there who want to hear this message today. There are so many women out there who are looking for this positivity today. They are looking for this voice. They are looking for someone who is there to encourage and cheer them today. Why? Because right now they have spoken themselves into a box. They have said in many different ways to themselves, I do not matter. You do matter. Every one of us matters. In the Sattvic method, there is space for everyone because we are all variations of the same theme. It's just like you cook 100 varieties of rice, but they're all rice. You make 200 different dishes with rice, they're all made with rice. So in the Sattvic method, we always emphasize that we are all variations of the same theme, which is divine. So when you are starting, you might have doubts. Oh, why? Who will listen to me? How do I find my note? How do I find my niche? How do I find my audience? You just put yourself out there. There will always be people who need this encouragement today, now. The next step comes when you start amplifying your existing work. You start putting it out in social media, you start networking, you start looking for collaborations, and you will reach more people through that. Why should you reach more people? Because you want to help many more people by reaching out to more and more and more people. And then in the third stage, you will scale your impact by taking speaking engagements, by offering memberships, by offering thought leaderships. You will just scale it up. Many of the highly paid TED speakers, they all started from scratch. They all amplified their existing work and they all scaled for their impact. You could be the next one too. We do not know. As long as we take the joy in what we do, as long as we say, yes, I want to share this with as many women as possible, and I'm going to put it out there, it is worthwhile. Now, all this is now like, oh man, this is it's really impossible, right? All the fears are starting to come up when we talk about this. How do we overcome these fears? Everybody has this when you begin. We all seem to have this imposter syndrome. I don't know if I should share my personal life. It may be relevant only to me. How can it impact them? Maybe I'm not good enough. I don't talk as well as the other speakers. Maybe I don't look good enough on camera. Oh, I've always been told that I'm too dark, or I've always been told that you're not pretty enough on camera. I've always been told that whatever reasons. But you have to remember this one thing: your story matters because only you can have that unique set of experience that people are looking for today. It doesn't matter whether you are decided to reach 1,000 women, 10,000 women, 5 women, one person, doesn't matter. What matters is you are there to share what you care about. You're willing to become visible. You're willing to give it a face. And then you say, okay, I'm willing to give a face. Now I become visible. What am I going to do with that visibility? How do I deal with criticism? How do I deal with negativity? How do I build my resilience? How do I build healthy boundaries? All this is work in progress. All this we learn as we go. The only thing we need to know is we need to decide we are going to continue this until we feel that we have reached, we have given everything that we can give, and then we are willing to give more. And you have to find the courage and the confidence and talk to women. They all have stories to share about visibility. They all have stories to tell about their life as a woman. They all have stories to tell as immigrants. They all have stories to tell about how they got passed, how they got rejected. Share the stories because sharing is powerful, sharing is caring, sharing is healing, sharing brings people together. Women bond by sharing. And the more we share, we are able to celebrate our diversity. Nobody can speak for us. We have to speak for ourselves. So we become visible. We have to become visible because we want to dismantle all the stereotypes. Wearing bindi is not good, wearing sari is not good, or you don't know how to speak English with an accent. All those stereotypes, dismantle them by your presence, by becoming visible. Practice visibility in your life every day. Take leadership in the house. Don't hide behind I will tell your dad or your dad said so. You say I am your mom, I can say this. I'm your wife, I can say this. I'm your sister, I can say this. I'm your best friend, I can say this. Own it. Advocate for yourself. Speak up. You don't have to go into a big argument. You don't speak up. Say, please, I would like to say this. Can I have a moment? Speak up and speak to others about this. Because the more you speak to others about this, you are able to build solidarity and you will be able to generate a collective action. And that's what we want. We want more and more and more women to become visible. Their stories to be heard, their experiences to be shared. And we need to avoid these visibility traps. What is this traps? Comparison. Oh my God, those people are so good. I'm not. Those people have million followers. I don't. Or it is just that, oh, I cannot keep up with them. You don't have to keep up with anybody. You just have to stand up as you, being you, for you. That's all is required. You just have to connect with your purpose and show your passion. Stand up for that. Embrace it. And then you're going to build authentic relationships and foster a huge sense of belonging. Belonging is a feeling, belonging is an emotion, belonging is a sense. You sense your belonging there. You feel that you belong there. Nobody tells you, yes, you belong here. Even if they tell you, yes, you belong here, you will be like, yeah, I know, but, right? You have to be, when you become visible, when you decide to become visible, you set realistic goals. Be as healthy as possible in your relationships with your visibility. Maintain a relatable, maintain a healthy work life balance. Prioritize self care. Prevent burnout. Most importantly, make sure you build a supportive network of people who are giving you constant feedback so you can take it, improve it, and cultivate deeper connections, genuine connections, connections that make emotional impact. One of the things you could do if you are if you want to be visible in your office, maybe it's public speaking is not your arena. Maybe you're good at bringing people to your organization, to your program. So one of the things you could do is to make sure that you are bringing in guests who are also saying almost the same thing that you are saying. They're saying it from a different perspective because their life experience is slightly different. Isn't that amazing? Then you can also find that you're experts. You can find experts who will teach you how to communicate. You can ask them, can you give me some tips? You connect with them. You can talk to activists. You can talk to change makers. Ask them how they became visible, how they are embracing their visibility, how they are making their visibility felt. Have a dialogue, have a discussion, talk, talk, have this meaningful talk, have these deep talks, because all these matter in a long term. So you must, when you become visible, understand that people will have questions. Suddenly you become an expert. And as you listen to their stories, you give them visibility. You can start hosting group discussions, workshops, if you are academically inclined, or if you are more inclined towards bringing a social change. Visibility is just a decision, it is a must for all women. We have to become compelling storytellers. Our stories are powerful. Our narratives have meaning because it is lived experience. In the spiritual world, in the Hindu tradition that I come from, the entire corpus of spiritual experiences are passed down as a formula which is called as paddhati. These powerful narratives, people live by these paddhatis. People have tested these paddhatis. People have updated these paddhatis. We have centuries and centuries and centuries of shared powerful narratives that power us today in our practice, that empower us today in what we are doing. I welcome you all to connect with everyone around you. Be transparent, be relatable, tell them your story, share it because people are looking to see how they can connect with each other. No man can survive as an island. Everyone is looking for a mirror. And that mirror is what? They're not looking for a physical mirror. They're looking for someone who will understand what they yearn for. They're looking for someone who will stand with them, who will support them, who will be there for them. And 90% of the time, we are only looking for someone who is there cheering us, saying, yes, I see you, I see you, I see you, go for it, go for it, go for it. That's it. That's all we want. We want someone to hear. If you become visible, your stories will become visible, your thought will become visible, what you stand for becomes visible. And because of that, others can come in and share their authentic experiences and struggles as they yearn for this correct balance of visibility. What is it that they want to become visible for? I welcome all of you to post what is it that you are looking for. What is your fear when it comes to visibility? What matters to you? Does your story matter to you? Why would you or would you not tell your story? I am curious. I am here to listen. I am here standing up because your story matters to me. Let's build this safe space, this safe Sattvic Serenity space where we can find support, where we can stay motivated, where we can be long-term contributors, we can make long-term impacts. Let's remember to share this thought, participate in this, and give. I have to thank you all for your encouragement. I have to thank you all for your support. And because of that, I am slowly able to engage, stand up, and become visible and bold enough to share my story, my experience with you all. Please comment. Please share this. Please subscribe to our channel and to the podcast. And let's start this conversation. Let's become more visible. Let's be proud of ourselves. Let's own what we do. And let's share this with everyone in the world, because we matter. Each one of us matter. Our stories matter. We have a lived experience, and that experience matters. Let us be open. Let us embrace visibility, and let us do it responsibly. So again, I thank you all. Please feel free to share, comment, like, and subscribe, and share it with as many people as possible so we can engage in this conversation. Thank you. I will see you next week. Bye bye. Have a good week.